Hello, I'm back. So, this is, I guess, just an open talk because my anxiety is a little bit high from a lot of things and I'm bored. I'm thinking about writing another fiction short story between today and tomorrow, but I haven't thought of the topic yet. Um, but you want to know something that's funny? About 5 or 10 minutes before I saw Alex, I left the coffee shop after breakfast and on my way here, and before I went to the bus, I was thinking that, having this fears that I was gonna lose my mind and go crazy. I had these fears that I was gonna go crazy and lose my mind. And just like the sleep deprivation was making it worse. And it's just like all this time and I haven't get the opportunity to actually rest and get proper rest. And it's really frightening that Satanism is all around us. Satan is the small g God of this world, the false God of this world. And just about everybody has Satanism ingrained in them, no matter how Christian they want to try to flower their words and stuff. But somebody can be telling you to repent of your sins while throwing up this hand sign. And then you end up being confused, like, what the hell? And in a normal conversation, somebody just unnecessarily throw up this hand sign. Like, the elderly new librarian that comes in the morning, she drives a red Kia Soul, but attitude-wise, she's really nice, But I just had a small little conversation with the librarians and asked them something. And she sure enough threw this hand sign up. Unnecessarily. Like when I offered, for them to try out the edible seaweed snacks or whatever. And with the seaweed, I wanted them to try it, but I didn't know. Well, I finally had my confirmation that the new lady, it seemed like they're all perks. Damn, I never knew they were all gang stalkers, but if you drive a red car and you do this, even if your car is not red and you do this, or this, I can't even do this with my hand. It hurts when I try to do this one, but I can do this. But I don't want to because I don't want to pledge allegiance to Satan. But I'm just showing y'all the hand signs that example of the hand signs that they use, and there was a targeted friend that pointed out on our graduation picture when the foster mom did this, and she had a ring on her finger, a red ring on her finger. Now, they used to force us against our will in school to say the Pledge of Allegiance. And them forcing us to hold our hand over our heart. That's Masonic and Satanic. And they say that that's indoctrinating us into Satan, the Satanic way of thinking. So when you have your right hand over your left side of your chest, over your heart, it's like nowadays you wonder if all these massive amounts of people are really initiated, or if all these people, or some people just think it's cool to throw up the devil horns hand sign, So I remember even when I worked at Roger Scott Pool last summer, I don't remember the exact words, but I think it was a child wearing a shirt saying I sold my soul to the devil or something like, if not that, I don't remember exactly what it was, satanic. It was a young little white boy. It looked like he could have been like 10 or 11 years old. And if you serving the devil, I don't want to hear anything about my bad behavior or my inappropriate behavior. Nowadays, it's like me passing out Christian gospel tracts. It's inappropriate behavior, or I'm doing it at an inappropriate place or inappropriate time. But the fake Jehovah's Witnesses in their lives, they can spread their lies any and everywhere that they want. Nobody speaks against Jehovah's Witnesses for standing up and fake evangelizing on college campuses. But if I go to UWF campus or PSC campus or any other college campus and pass out my gospel tracts, they will have an official police ban. I got kicked out of Disneyland in Los Angeles, in Anaheim, California. Not Los Angeles, Anaheim, California. I never went as a guest there, but I went to pass out, and I was just more like on the outskirts, you know. I didn't even go inside the park, but somebody has told on me, snitched me out, and I was, just started, and me passing, me passing out the Christian gospel tracts, and not just that place, but other places. I pass out my Christian gospel tracts or the Christian DVDs, and people hurry up and grab their kids and run, or they abuse and smack their kids or punch their kids or rough handle their kids. The children are like eager and anxious to want to, I guess they want, the truth and the word and stuff like that, but the parents yank them and treat them very mean. It's like the parents don't give them a time of the day. And I'm a female, and I'm pretty sure, I think at that time my hair was long, so I was an obvious looking woman. But you see my dress right here. The same. I wear this dress often with me being homeless on the streets, because I need to sort out and organize my storage unit. But because of the fake COVID thing and my sleep deprivation and stuff like that, it's difficult, but I know I need to organize a few things soon, because I got, but it's hard to do when I'm on the streets. It's easier when I'm in a hotel or a motel. Stop. It's easier to function better that way. Or if I had my own place, more like, a permanent place, without any harassment. I can focus better when it's quiet. So, people better not tell me, about inappropriate behavior or being aggravating and annoying or doing this wrong, doing that wrong. Everything I do or say is wrong, but, or you want to call me a hypocrite while you throwing up Baphomet hand signs and tell me what Bible scriptures to read. Who's the real hypocrite here? I don't pledge allegiance to Satan, and I'm not sold out. If I was, I wouldn't be struggling. And I was just using that example to show y'all the Luciferian hand signs, But I don't walk around throwing up those signs thinking it's cool or whatever. But I just showed y'all as an example, But it's like everybody's freaking satanic just about. And I heard that, all these perps, the gang stalkers and narcissistic abusers who think they're doing the right thing, following the leader and stuff without being their own leader, unless they're highly narcissistic. some people think they're doing the right thing by following the leader rather than having a mind of their own or thinking independently. They follow the herd and then think that they think that blindly following the government makes them smarter than people who think independently. The foster mom used to always try to bully, harass, and lecture me and tell me that I have to learn how to conform to the norms of society. I'm like, well, we're not allowed to do what other kids do, but you want me to conform to society? How? If you block me from trying to do what people my age do or what people out in society do. Other parents don't lock their doggone kids in the house all day, every day, just doing nothing but being cleanup slaves. If I was still in foster care, it's Saturday, it's on a Saturday, it's 12:11 p.m. We will still be cleaning the doggone house, like cleaning the house for hours every Saturday. And all day, every day, just clean up slaves. And nothing is ever clean enough, but I'm the one who's somehow diagnosed with OCD. And like the foster mom used to traumatize us with the beatings and whippings if if our room wasn't clean enough, and when we were younger. And then by the time I was in my teenage years, they made it like as if something was wrong with me or I was crazy for having my bedroom to be meticulous, like noise campaign. My bedroom would be meticulous. And so the foster mom thought it acting like she pretended like it was strange that my room was so clean and everything. These people are fucking ridiculous. So I really, even last night and this morning, I'm just sitting here feeling like every day, like, wanting to just fucking cry, just wanting to cry, because of them, treating me like, everybody, even strangers who I never met before, treating me like I deserve to be punished, that I deserve to be just hardcore punished, and that everything I do or say is just wrong. And just like a daily reminder that my street homelessness is just punishment that I deserve. I deserve to be beaten. I deserve to be raped. I deserve to have this happen to me. I deserve to be cheated. I deserve to be, nearly hit by a car. I deserve to be, harassed and tortured. I deserve to be just eliminated off of the face of this earth. I just deserve everything bad that's coming my way. I deserve all this karma. I just deserve everything just bad. And I deserve nothing good. And then when somebody does me something dirty, I have to hear lectures about how I'm too negative, energy draining, and complain too much. Now all I do is complain. But I didn't know what was going on at the time. But now I do, and people still say I, complain so much. That all I do is complain, and that's why everybody's ignoring me. Crying out for help and support is not just complaining. Being blocked from basic existence. Like, I'm surprised I made it to be 37 years old. And as I said earlier, that I was afraid earlier, had this, before I even saw Alex, I just had this fear that I was just gonna lose my mind and go crazy. But I'm trying to stick it out and stay strong. It's like just this constant mental reminder that I deserve to be just nothing but punished. and everything I do or say is just wrong. My mere existence is just wrong. And go to church and be treated with the same abuse, but even worse. Like, you're supposed to go to church feeling better, and the church people won't do shit for you, and they won't give you shit, but they will tithe past the fake pastor will have all these anniversary dinners and parties and Thanksgiving dinners, fake Christmas dinners, and only their favorite congregants, favorite worshipers of the pastor are the only ones who get free fake Christmas gifts. And the pastor can pass the plate around twice in church, but if it's a homeless female that needs help, they're quick to want to call the police on you for asking for help. It doesn't even have to be money. You can ask for, if you have a baby and you have no money and you're targeted or whatever, you lost your job and this, that, whatever. I mean, and even if she might not tell people, well, hey, I'm a targeted individual, but if she just say, well, I need help with getting my baby some diapers, the church will call CPS on that lady. The church worships the fucking government too. The fake sellout church. You're telling people repent of your sins, and you tell people, about hell while you're throwing up the Baphomet sign. And you smooth talker, you got Christians, the exact words, of real truth, but then your deception comes in that when you're throwing up the satanic hand signs, or, it's like you put just that little bit of leaven of deception in there so that your congregants can't see what you're doing, and you're dangerous. And you run your church like a cult where members are not free to leave. And it can be a small church. And you can run your stuff like a cult, and controlling every aspect of your members' lives, and you're a false pastor. And it's just crazy how the world is. And so, it's getting worse, and people are saying to prepare. They got famine in other areas of the world. And it's a dog-eat-dog world, Hunger Games kind of world. And, nobody would care about the next fella, but we all be crying out for help. It's already like that in the so-called targeted individual community, as it is. Targeted individuals don't care about each other, but we all stop. Targeted individuals don't care about each other, but everybody's screaming for help. Nobody cares about the next target, but everybody's screaming for help. But I'm the dummy for caring about everybody, or considering others. Or I'm the one who's, stupid and not making sense. If I try to reach out to help others, if I try to reach out and to support others, they block and ignore me. If I try to reach out to them, to try to give them emotional support, or say I'm here to, and the targeted individual so-called community I talk about all the time, about how they're the worst community ever. If we're going through the worst, and yet we treat each other the worst. So, yeah, it's really scary that it's getting colder weather, and I'm out on the streets, and people just leave me hanging, and I feel like I don't want to go where it's cold weather, and I've said that before. I don't want to go where it's too cold, and I don't want to go um, west, go back on live on the west coast, and so no farther west than the state of Louisiana, you know. But I can't go back to my hometown, New Orleans, because I think my life will be in danger if I go back, even for a short visit. Even though I just came from there, but I'm sure gonna miss the food and the beignets and the like when I went to the New Orleans Hamburger and Seafood Company restaurant, they had the freaking best spaghetti and meatballs that I had in so long. I don't know what they did, but wow. You know, and I'm a native of New Orleans, and I think that's more like almost best spaghetti and meatballs I ever had almost in my life. Other than the Foster Dad Al's Project Spaghetti. The Foster Dad Al used to make some great Project Spaghetti. It was like spaghetti and meat sauce with government cheese. Remember back in the 80s, the government cheese? That was the best cheese in the world. And they tried to revive that government cheese a few years ago, and it just ain't the same. It ain't good. You know, government cheese tastes better than Velveeta. But recently, the cheese ain't they try to make the government cheese make a comeback, and the cheese just ain't the same. And plus the boxes are smaller. Smaller. I remember when the boxes used to be huge, like really big back then. And I miss those powdered eggs. And we used to eat them half raw, and we never got sick from that. You know, we used to eat the powdered eggs like undercooked. Like we didn't have it, like purposely cook them like undercooked. I didn't like them fully cooked. And I used to like the rice checks and the corn checks, but I hated the wheat checks. And I think they used to have the canned beef stew and some other like commodities. But the commodities these days aren't really the same no more like they used to be, you know. I miss those freaking 80s commodities that we used to get when we were little. Me trying to talk about a positive, good childhood moment, at least. Foster Dad Al, before he died, he promised us a bundt cake and was making all kinds of false promises. Then he died before, but he told me, he said, before I die, I promise, before I die, I will make y'all a bundt cake. Well, he died before he made us a bundt cake. But I forgive you, Al. You know, so, yeah, I remember Foster Dad Al whipping us too, but he didn't used to play psychological games. The foster mom used to be just abusive, but the psych games didn't come into play until after she married that new husband, Mr. Terry. You know, she wanted him to be like Al so bad, but he wasn't like Al. He had effeminate mannerisms and was messy and stuff like that, you know. But I don't know. I really think Al was a blood sacrifice. Ow, they hurt my chest. I really think Al was a blood sacrifice. And we were 7 years old, and the foster mom used to make threats to give us away. And she was 42 and we were 7, and she used to run around talking about how we're killing her. She used to say we're stressing her out and that we're killing her. Yeah, killing me. That we're killing her. And 42 ain't that old. I'm like, if you were that sick and tired of us, why you kept us for so many years? For money? Why you didn't get rid of us? If we were that horrible, and we were that bad, why you didn't get rid of us and get more foster kids? But they used to tell us how lucky we were that we stuck with the same foster family, because they said it shatters a child's mind to bounce around from foster home to foster home, or be in those group homes and stuff. But I think our mind was shattered enough. You know, they said it shattered our minds to be forced locked up in the kindergarten closet, and all the other childhood abuse we went through, and we were the ones who were considered bad. Bad. But if I performed the same punishment on somebody in 2006 as what happened to me, then the foster mom and her daughter, the oldest one, Shelly, they were highlight child abuse. I'm like, well, it wasn't child abuse when y'all did it to me, and then they'll lie and say, well, we never did that to you. Yes, you did. But I mean, like when I had the foster boy stand on his knees in the corner. Well, not only the foster family, but teachers at school and the gym teachers, and we went to the camp and they had us on our knees as a punishment. But when I did that one time, that was called they wanted to call that child abuse. But it wasn't child abuse when they did it to us. So I figured, I'd break that cycle. I didn't know it was considered, I thought it was regular punishment. And, if the foster mom forced us to, eat out of garbage cans, but her grandkids that she worshiped, they didn't have to eat all their food if they didn't want to. It's okay for them to throw away food. And the foster kids that she favored after we turned 18, it's okay for them to throw away food and waste food. But they did that to me and my twin sister. And I don't know if they did that to Mark, Wyatt, and Joni, but I remember they did it to me, the foster mom, forcing me to eat out garbage cans at 3 years old and stuff, That's not called, but I never made a child eat out of garbage can, but, that was about the only thing I did, that I didn't realize it was considered abuse to make a child, get on their knees and kneel in a corner. Because when you stand up and you're on your knees, it hurts more than when you're kneeling, sitting down. Like, if you get what I mean, when you're kneeling on your knees and you're sitting down, kneeling on your knees, it doesn't hurt as bad as when you stand up, but on your knees, if you get what I'm trying to say, So, I didn't know that was considered abuse. And it's like, I grew up, and I was in my 20s, and there were some things, even though people say I was highly intelligent, but they figure I was slow because certain things I still didn't know any better about. Certain things I was taught and I didn't know it was considered wrong or socially unacceptable. But you did it to me. So if the foster mom wanted us to trust her as perfect, I didn't know that. Well, you basically admitting that you're an abuser then. If you did it to me, and then if I do it to somebody, and then you say, that's wrong. Well, it wasn't wrong when you were doing it. And then they gaslight and say, oh, I never did that, whatever. So, at the end of the day, I'm not the one with the mental problems.